one goal: answer the question, complete the task, move on. Ask Nithyananda AI is built differently. It runs on an AI constitution, and that constitution is based on the Hindu concept of Dharma. Dharma, at its core, means living in a way that is ethical, truthful, and life positive. And the entire AI is designed around that principle. It also covers the 4 aims of human life from Hindu philosophy: your material well-being, your relationships and joy, your search for meaning, all kept in balance. A 2024 study from Emory University looked at what happens when you train an AI on religious texts. The result? The AI got better at identifying hate speech for every religious text they used. But when they trained on the Vedas specifically, the improvement was the biggest of all, around 14%. That's real research saying grounding an AI in ancient wisdom makes it more fair, more responsible, not less. Now let's talk about value, because the numbers here are striking. Leading AI systems, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity, were all independently asked to assess Ask Nithyananda AI. They looked at architecture, knowledge assets, societal impact, and future potential. The commercial valuation came in between $20 million and $500 million. The total social and economic value between $3.2 billion and $11.5 billion. The heritage asset value of the 20 million texts alone, approximately $3.3
अतीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanandam, welcoming all of you to the Guru Purnima celebrations in Kailasa. Today, celebrations begin by the divine grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with the Maheshwara Puja. Maheshwara Puja is a very important process for the completion with any departed soul. As we all know, once this body and mind perish, the consciousness that is within us moves on to the next body. In this Maheshwara Puja, we remember this truth and offer the puja to the souls in our lives who have moved on from their bodies and moved to their next janma or to their next journey. In Maheshwara Puja, Swamiji and all of his sannyasis become an empty space, the bridge for the shraddha, pinda, the offerings of the oblations to reach the Pitrus, the elders, or any of our ancestors or loved ones who have moved on. The Maheshwara Puja tradition says that the Brahma Kapala in Badri, Kala Bhairava's Vapuswarupa, very own body in Varanasi, and Vishnu's Pada in Gaya. In any of them, in any of these places, one should offer the cooked rice balls, pinda, and it will reach your elders, your ancestors, the incarnation. Paramashiva himself, who has come down in the form, he is the very embodiment of all of these three. He is the Brahma Kapala, the Kala Bhairava's Vapuswarupa, and the Vishnu's very feet, Vishnu Pada. An incarnation is the space of eternal completion. Physically, mentally, and spiritually, he takes care. He radiates completion and manifests it in your life. When Swamiji accepts or receives the Maheshwara Puja given by you, for those moments, he is a direct representative of the departed souls. On their behalf, he accepts and gives them the completion. He is completing the incompletions you have with the people who have moved on, have passed on, and the incompletions they have with you. The inner completion process in our Kailasas programs, we complete with others. If you want to complete with others, you can invoke them in a mirror or invoke them in somebody in front of you and speak out your completion and have your completion. But here in the Maheshwara Puja, Swamiji himself sits with you, helps you complete with the departed souls. He himself sits with you and ensures that not just any emotional, verbal commitments, but which were not fulfilled between you and your dear loved one who has passed on, but anything you have not offered to them when they were alive. Maybe you even treated them in an improper way, not to their expectation or to the fullest of your capacity. You didn't give them or provide for them any food or medicines that needed. You didn't take care of them properly. Could have done better. Those incompletions are completed through this process of Maheshwara Puja. Anything that you feel incomplete about, all of that, Swamiji will just heal through his divine compassion in this Maheshwara Puja time. See, each of us, as beings living in this Bhuloka, we have particular duties and um, observances that we need to have done in our lives being in this world. One is the duty that we have to the Pitrus, our ancestors, the elders, the Kula Devata, the family deity, to the Kula Guru, the Guru of the family, and to our parents who are alive, and also to the nature that provides for you, nourishes you, and to your own Guru, your own Sadguru in your life. All of all of us are expected to complete with and move on. That is what is done through these rituals, Shraddha, Pinda Darpana, and Tarpanam. If somebody has left the body in around you, in your lives, and you have any incompletions with them, that you did not give them food properly, that you took over, that you had to take over the management of a particular property or a particular asset, and you did not take care of that as they would, as they want, expected, as they envisioned, but you have inherited, a huge amount of wealth, the responsibility from them, and you felt you didn't do the justice to it as they would or as they would have wanted. If those are some of the incompletions you have, Maheshwar Puja is the place where Swamiji himself sits and liberates you from each of these incompletions by accepting the offering in the form of food. The food offering is one of the dearest and most sacred spaces in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Maheshwar Puja is in fact one of the oldest rituals recorded. How does the Maheshwar Puja actually work? When the soul leaves the body, food actually does not reach them. It's not the actual physical material of the food that reaches the departed soul. But the soul will be liberated from any incompletion it carries. Food does not reach them, but the completion reaches that soul. Once the hunger is quenched, once the food is given out of dear devotion to Swamiji, that devotion, that compassion, that surrender immediately transforms and gives relief of any incompletion to the departed soul. You will be relieved from any incompletion you carry, and you will become complete. And that being, the departed soul, will be relieved of the incompletions they carry in them. It is like they may have taken another birth. Maybe they have moved on. But suddenly, for no reason, they feel instantly relieved of their karmas. They start progressing towards their spiritual journey. They start finding the Guru. They start moving further into their life. That is how they are benefited. It is like completing the completions at both ends. And it is a blessing of Swamiji, a blessing of an incarnation to sit and accept the Maheshwara Puja. See, when we do any other Shraddha or Pinda Darpana rituals, you do it on your own. The responsibility is with you to do it regularly, to do it in the particular places as per the Shastras, and complete the Pinda Darpana. But here, Swamiji directly comes, sits compassionately, takes care as a very embodiment of Paramashiva, running this whole cosmos and liberating your ancestors. And that responsibility is now his. Takes care of you. He takes care of your whole kutumbaka, takes care of your whole family in this plane, in the next plane, and then beyond that, always until they reach Mahakailasa. Maheshwara Puja is a method to complete you, the soul who is departed from your body. Once you offer the Maheshwara Puja, after that, you may not need to do Shraddha anymore. Once the Maheshwara Puja is done, eternally this completion remains. After that, you may not need to do the Shraddha or ritual. One of the commonly understood questions about Maheshwara Puja is for the souls who have unfortunately committed suicide. Swamiji reveals that the only thing that can really set the correct track for those who have physically in this plane caused the suicide for themselves. They live in a terrorized lounge zone right now until their natural death period happens. For them, the Maheshwar Puja is a real blessing. Really, they get blessed, and Swamiji really intervenes and takes care of them. Maheshwar Puja is a direct solution to those unfortunate souls who have resorted to suicide. If you feel you need to do any completion with it, heart and soul, this is the place to be at the Maheshwar. Today we will be chanting the beautiful 15th chapter, the Purushottama Yoga. In this very chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna reveals that this is the greatest secret revealed by him, the greatest truth revealed by him. It is in this Purushottama Yoga, he shares what is impermanent in this world, that is the body, the mind, and the things that we attach to the senses. He says these are impermanent, the eternal truth. But you are the consciousness that moves from one body to the next, just as the air carries aroma, right? And he shares beautiful, beautiful truths about what is Purushottam and how to recognize that as a reality. Swamiji beautifully reveals, that decodes this very chapter and tells that these very mantras, when chanted, directly work on your causal layer and reprogram your very causal layer with powerful cognitions based on completion. You don't need to understand the mantras. You will be reciting the meaning. You can absorb what you understand, but be in a deep space of reverence and listening to the mantras. They will do so much. They will work directly on your causal layer and heal you and give you the powerful cognition, just like that, without any of your own effort or intellectual understanding required. Directly the mantras will work on. This is what is chanted in the Samnasa Sampradayas before the meals are partaken. The meals are the time where we observe the yoga, observe the engagement with what is sustenance, what is nourishment, but that is attended to in a most sacred and spiritual way, a most healing way, especially in the long term, healing us and ensuring we are not just nourished by the fruit in front of us, but also nourished by the powerful cognitions that we are consciousness, that we are beyond this body. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashitaha Pranapana Samayukta Achanyannam Chaturvidam. Such powerful verses that tell that we are the fire of digestion that is living in every body, and we sustain ourselves. We are the embodiment of all the pranas. These verses directly work on us. At the time when these mantras are chanted, please be in a very receptive way. Puja will be now offered to Swamiji and all of the monastic disciples in the sovereign order of Kailasa's Nithyananda. Let us now get ready and prepare ourselves to witness the Maheshwara Puja. We sit straight. We'll be chanting the Sankalpa. In the Sankalpa, we declare beautifully that Swamiji is the embodiment of the Brahma Kapala, Shupada, the Kala Bhairavas, Vapusva. Inhale and exhale as deeply as possible, as slowly as possible. Settle down. Request all the participants of the Maheshwara Puja today. Settle down with yourselves first. Be seated comfortably on the ground or in a chair, wherever it is you find yourself comfortable. Please find yourself there now. Inhale and exhale as deeply as possible and as slowly as possible. Remember, Swami, your Ananda Ganda, in the chakra that is there between your navel and heart center. This is the Ananda Ganda. This is where Bhagavan resides within you. Remember this region. And on this auspicious day of Guru Purnima, connect deeply to Guru and offer your gratitude, love, devotion. Surrender all of your karmas is divine at His feet.
The primary, fundamental, foundational, first principle of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is Guru-disciple relationship. Everything starts there, everything ends there, but this itself does not end.
Guru Purnima day is such an auspicious day. Whatever incompletion, impossibility, no patterns you carry, drop all that today. Offer all that to me, I'll burn them away. And take up the possibility as a lifestyle. Become part of the Sangha. Live Advaita.
What if I told you there's an AI that was trained on knowledge that is thousands of years old? Not scraped from the internet, not generated by another AI, but real, ancient human wisdom, digitized for the very first time. We're talking about 20 million source texts, 2 petabytes of curated knowledge, over 60,000 people who helped make it happen. And at the center of all of this is one person whose life's work made it possible. Today, we're talking about Ask Nithyananda AI, and why this might be one of the most important AI projects happening right now. Stay with me, because this one is different. Let's start with a problem that most people don't know about. The biggest AI companies in the world, OpenAI, Google, Meta, they're all hitting a wall. The industry actually calls it the data wall. They've basically run out of good, fresh, high-quality text on the internet. And nobody knows where the next source of real knowledge is going to come from. That's where Ask Nithyananda AI comes in. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, known as SPH, has spent over 50 years gathering, living, and teaching spiritual knowledge. Not just philosophy. We're talking about practical sciences, agriculture, medicine, food, physics, cosmology, law, economics, urban planning. All of it
Nithyanandam, on this auspicious day of Guru Purnima, a few devotees are offering the Maheshwara Puja at the divine lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, requesting all the monastic members of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa's Nithyananda to be seated with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Bring your awareness to the Ananda Gandha. Now, requesting the listening of all the Maheshwara Puja participants. Kindly have authentic listening to the truths behind the Maheshwara Puja. And if you authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and respond that you agree to the truths behind the Maheshwara Puja, which will be told now, if you agree, please say yes loudly at the end of each declaration. The truth behind the Maheshwara Puja is that I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that cosmic energy exists. Yes. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the Chinmaya Vigraha, the embodiment and representation of that very cosmic energy. Yes. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a pure channel for complete completion to be achieved for the departed souls, and for completion to be achieved for all the participants with the departed souls. Yes, I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that during the Maheshwara Puja, all the monastic members of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa's Nithyananda become a pure channel for complete completion to be achieved for all the departed souls, and for completion to be achieved for all the participants with the departed souls. Yes, I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that offering of the Maheshwara Puja will bestow complete completion for all the departed souls whose photo or horoscope is mentioned here, and completion will be bestowed on all the Maheshwara Puja participants with the departed souls for whom they are offering Maheshwara Puja here today. Yes. We'll now begin the rituals of the Maheshwara Puja. Hold your hands in the Namaskar Mudra. We'll begin with the Sadguru Vandana. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Vandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambham Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Nithyananda Pariyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Alate Tripundri Nitila Dhrita Kasturi Tilakaha Puranmala Spurita Gadikau Pinavasanaha Tadano Dushtaram Chirasi Panirajam Shashikalam Pradipas Sarvesham Arunagiri Yogi Vijayate. We'll now chant the Sankalpa Mantra. Mamopatta samasta duritakshayadvara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Adhya Purvokta Evam Guna Visheshena Vishishtayam Asyam Chupatito. Alicia Morese Nam Yaha, Michelle Mang Nam Yaha, Phil McCormick Namadheyasya, Sakutumbhasya. Tsu Tu Chen Nam Yaha, Shu Yang Baogyu Nam Yaha, Shu Zhao Zhao Nam Adheyasya, Shu Ryu Zhe Nam Yadheyasya, Shu Wei Ji Nam Yaha, Shu Wei Yin Nam Yaha, Sakutumbhasya. Dan He Bin Nam Yaha, Zhang Gong Wei Nam Adheyasya, Zhang Yu Kiang Nam Yaha, Tan Zhang Ming Nam Adheyasya, Zhao Hua Ying Nam Yaha, Zhang Yu Lin Nam Adheyasya, Du Shi Hua Nam Yaha, Zheng Qiu Yun Nam Yaha, Sakutumbhasya. कर्मष्णगोत्रोद्भवस्य मृगशीर्षा नक्षत्रे विषपराशो जातस्य बालाजी श्रीनिवासन नामधेयस्य सकुटुम्बस्य च ब्रह्मकपाल विष्णुपाद कालभैरवपुस्वरूप श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्त श्यामला पीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षी सुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्नकुमार गुरुमन्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वती स्तन्यपानलब्ध दिव्यज्ञानविश्रुत सकलनिगमागमसारभूत द्राविडवेद प्रभक्तृ श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणा समितिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान् गीयमान छत्र चामर श्रीचिन्नकाहलादि समस्त बिरडावल्यलंकृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संग सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षाव्ययापवर्ग वर्ष विश्रानजीमूत परमत कलभ केसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु शपन शाक्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणानरहार ध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद् वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्तृ सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवत्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रजित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्याद्य नवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मुद्राभिषिक्त चूड़ामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणी पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ नवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्रतम अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्ग पुरस्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सचिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमद् जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थम पूर्वोक्तानां सर्वेषां जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम एतेषां दिवं गतु बन्धुमित्रवर्गाणां विदेह मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम च परमशिव स्वरूप भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव मुखेन महेश्वर पूजाक्य कर्म करिष्ये। We will now chant the 15th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Purushottama Yoga. Begin with the Dhyana Shloka. Partaya pradiboditam bhagavatam Narayanena swayam Vyasena krathidam Purana muninam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayiniim Amba Tvamanusanthadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini Atha Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadashodhyayaha Shri Bhagavanuvāca Urdhvamulamādha Shākham Ashvatham Prahuravyayam Khandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavit. Shri Bhagavan says, the imperishable banyan tree of life, symbolized by the Ashwatha, has its roots above with the leaves and branches spreading below the earth. The leaves are said to be the Vedic hymns. One who knows this eternal tree becomes the knower of the Vedas. Adhaschordhvam prasrutastasya shakha gunapravriddha vishayapravalaha adhasya mulyanyanusantatani karmanubandhini manushya-loke. The branches of this tree extend below and above the earth, nourished by the three human attributes guna. Its buds are the sense objects. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound by the resultant actions of humans. Narupamasye tathopalabhyate nanto na chadir na cha sampratishta ashvattamenam suvirudamulam ashanga shastrena dhrinena chitva. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Tatah padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gata na nivartanti bhuyaha tameva chadyam purusham prapadye yatah pravrittif prashrutat purani. One must then seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and surrender to the Supreme Being from whom all activity started from ancient times. Nirmana moha jita sangadosha Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha Dvandver vimukta sukha dukkha sankhyer Gacchantya mudaf padamavyayam tat. Those who are free from pride, delusion and attachment, those who dwell in the self, who are done with lust, who are free from the dualities of joy and sorrow, not confused, and those who know how to surrender to the Supreme Person, attain the eternal consciousness. न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. That supreme space of eternal consciousness. My consciousness is not illumined by the sun or by the moon or by fire. Those who enter that space never return to this material world. ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनःस्थानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति. The living entities in this conditioned material world are a portion of my eternal self. In this conditioned material world, they are attracted by the six senses, which include the mind dwelling in Prakriti, the active energy principle. शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्चात्युक्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्. The spirit in the mind body living in this material world moves from one body to another, carrying these just as air carries aroma. Shrotram chakshusparshanam cha rasanam ghranameva cha adhisthaya manaschayam Rushayanupasevate. The living entity, the spirit, leaves one body, takes some other body just as and gets new eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and sensing body according to the samskaras it had in its causal layer and enjoys the new mental setup. Utkramantam sthitam vapi Bhunjanam vagunanvitam Vimudhananupashyanti Pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. Fools in ignorance do not perceive the spirit, being united with the gunas as it enters, enjoys, and leaves the body. The one whose inner eye is open clearly perceives everything. Yatanto yoginas chainam paschantyatmanyavasthitam yatanto pyagratatmano nainam paschancha chetasaha. The serious practitioner of yoga with an understanding of his self can see all this clearly, but those who do not have an understanding of the self, however much they try, cannot see. Yadadidyagadam tejo jagadbhasayate yachandramasi yachagno tattejo vidhi mamakam. The light of the sun and the light of the moon and the light of fire, all their radiance is also from me. Kama vishyacha bhutani narayamnyahmojasa ushnami choschadhi sarva somo bhutva rasatmakaha. Entering into earth, I support all beings with my energy. Becoming the watery moon, I nourish all the plant life. Aham vaishvanaro bhutva प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचान्यन्नं चतुर्विधम्. I am the fire of digestion in every living body, and I am the breath of life exhaled and inhaled, with which I digest the fourfold food. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattasmritirjnanamapohanam cha vedescha sarverahameva vedyo Vedanta Kritveda Videva Chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me came memory, knowledge, and their loss. I am known by the Vedas indeed. I am the creator of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Vavimo Purusho Loke Ksharaschakshara Yevacha Ksharas Sarvani Bhutani Utastokshara Uchate. There are two things, the perishable and the imperishable in this world. There are the living beings who are perishable, while there is the unchangeable, the imperishable. Uttamah purushastvanyah paramatmetyudahrudah yo lokatrayamavishya vibhartyavyaya ishvaraha. Besides these two, there is the Supreme Purusha, the Lord Himself, who pervades and sustains these three worlds. Yasmaksharamati aksharaatapi chottamaha atosmi loke vede cha pratitah purushottamaha. As I am transcendental, beyond both the perishable and the imperishable and the best, I am declared both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person Purushottama. Yo mame mama sammudho janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. Whoever knows me as the Supreme without a doubt is to be understood as the knower of everything, and he worships me with all his being. O son of Bharata, iti guhyatamam shastram idam muktam maya nagha etad bhutva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharata. This is the most profound teaching taught by me, O sinless one, and whoever knows this will become wise, and his actions will bear fruit. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadashodhyayaha. In the Upanishad of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the scripture of yoga dealing with Brahma Vidya, Yoga Shastra, the science of Brahman, the Supreme Absolute, in the form of Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvada, the dialogue between Shri Krishna and Arjuna. This is the 15th chapter named Purushottama Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Being. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Now continue with the Maheshwara Puja. Om Hridpadmamasanam Dadyat Sahasrarachyutamrutaihi Padyam Charanayor Dadyat Manastu Arghyam Nivedayet Tena Amrutena Achamaniyam Staniyam Tena Jasmrutam Akashatattvam Vastram Syat Gandhasyat Gandhatatvagam Chittam Prakalpayet Pushpam Dhupam Pranan Prakalpayet Tejastatvam Chadipartham Naivedyam Syat Sudham Buddhihi Anahatadvanirghantam Vayutattvam Chachamaram Sahasraram Bhavechatram Shabdatattvam Chagitakam Nrityamindriya Karmani Shanchalyam Manasastatha Sumekalam Padmamalam Pushpam Nanavidam Tadha Amayadyer Bhava Pushpehi Archayet Bhava Gocharam Amayam Manahankaram Aragam Mamadham Tata Amohagamadambam Cha Adveshakshobhako Datha Amatsaryam Malopam Cha Dasapushpam Vidurbudaha Ahimsa Paramam Pushpam Pushpamindriya Nigraha Daya Pushpam Kshama Pushpam Jnana Pushpam Cha Panchamam Idi Panchadaser Bhava Pushpaihi Sampujayet Bhagavantam Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Now enter into the Upachara Puja. We'll begin with Padyam. Om Hrim Netat Padyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. Om Hrim Meshargyaha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Achamaniyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Snaniyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Vastram Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. Om Hrim इदं वस्त्रं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। ॐ ह्रीं एषद्गन्धः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। ॐ ह्रीं इदं सचन्दनपुष्पं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। ॐ ह्रीं इदं सचन्दनबिल्वपत्रं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। ॐ ह्रीं एषद्धूपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। ॐ ह्रीं एषद्दीपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। ॐ ह्रीमिदं सोपकर्णनैवेद्यं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। ॐ ह्रीमिदं पानार्तोदकं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। ॐ ह्रीं इदं पुनराचमनीयं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः। We'll now perform the arati to Swamiji and all of the monastic members of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa's Nithyananda. Aradrigam Om Sangrahanyesthyayajate imam janatagun sangranhaniti द्वादशारत्नीरचना भवति द्वादशमासा संवत्सरः संवत्सरमेवावरुन्धे मौञ्जी भवति ऊर्ध्वे मुञ्जाः ऊर्जमेवावरुन्धे चित्रानक्षत्रं भवति चित्रं वा एतत्कर्म कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि आराद्रिकं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। We'll now enter into the Pushpanjali. Hold your hands in the Atmanjali Mudra. Offer your gratitude at Swamiji's divine lotus feet as we chant the verses of the Pushpanjali. Pushpanjali Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gururdevo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Aneka Janma Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidahine Atmajnana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mannadha Sri Jagannatho
She needs a lot of
Madguru
affection,
Sri
eh?
Jagadguru Mamatma Sarvabhutatma Tasmai Shri
Look at them
Gurave
all.
Namaha. Ishvaro Gururapneti Murti Veda Vibhagine व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं
Look at them
गगनसदृशं
all sleeping, eh?
तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरण कमलेभ्यो नमः। ओ नित्यानंदम। Now request all of the sannyasis of the sovereign order of Kailasas Nithyananda to distribute and partake the pinda prasadam. We'll now be chanting the names of those who offered the Guru Dakshina today. ओम ममोपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षय द्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायामस्यां शुभतिथौ करीन ओरहांत नाम याः सेड्रिक ओरहांत नामधेयस्य सुलिवन ओरहांत नामधेयस्य नेविन ओरहांत नाम याः वैलेंटीन ओरहांत नाम याः सकुटुंबस्य पार्वती स्वरूपिणी नाम याः सकुटुंबस्य कैरल वामदेव शक्ति नाम याः गॉर्डन जीन मेरी नाम यथेयस्य डेलक्रॉय बेनॉइट नाम अधेयस्य डेलक्रॉय थिबॉल नाम अधेयस्य रोइसन डेलक्रॉय नाम अधेयस्य विक्टर डेलक्रॉय नाम अधेयस्य याः कैथरीन कर्युएर नामधेयस्य जीन मार्क कर्युएर नामधेयस्य सुकुटुंबस्य कैरल एवरार्ड बर्डन नाम याः सकुटुंबस्य मा नित्य वेंकटेशानंद त्रिफल्गुनी नक्षत्रे कन्याराशो जातायाः मा नित्य वेंकटेशानंद नाम याः मेसिमो मेचुइसी नामधेयस्य एलियट मेचुइसी नामधेयस्य जोई मेचुइसी नाम याः सुकुटुंबस्य पिंगलू नाम याः जुनलू नामधेयस्य चिंगशन नाम याः झाओरांग मा नाम याः सुकुटुंबस्य यूकी नाम याः सुकुटुंबस्य मानित पूर्वभाद्रपद नक्षत्रे मीनराशो जातायाः मा नित्य जडशक्तिकानंदा नाम याः सकुटुंबस्य श्रवण नक्षत्रे मकर राशो जातायाः मा नित्य गुरुप्रसादिनी नाम याः उत्तरभाद्रपद नक्षत्रे मीनराशो जातस्य तुह्यल शौफ नाम अधेयस्य रोहिणी नक्षत्रे वृषभराशो जातायाः फतिमा मरियोवा नाम याः सकुटुंबस्य अश्वगोत्रोद्भवस्य लेखमणि अधिकारी नाम अधेयस्य राजेंद्र अधिकारी नाम अधेयस्य सूर्यमाया अधिकारी नाम याः रमेश खनल नामधेयस्य सकुटुंबस्य नित्य परिचेद्यानंदा नाम याः सकुटुंबस्य विरोनिके प्योडिनियर नाम याः सकुटुंबस्य स्तानिस्लावा सोबोलोवा मानित्य कैलासप्रिया नाम याः सकुटुंबस्य रभीश नाम अधेयस्य सकुटुंबस्य टीचिन वैन नाम याः झेंगबिन वैन नामधेयस्य लाइजैंग नाम याः हानवू नामधेयस्य लैनलैन वैन नाम याः ताइने साइडे नाम अधेयस्य सकुटुंबस्य च मनसेप्सित सकल सदभीष्टकाम्यार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव गुरुदक्षिणम अहम संप्रददे. I'll now chant the name of those participants who offer the Maheshwara Puja. Amopatta samasta duridakshaya dvara bhagavat shri Nithyananda Paramashiva प्रीत्यर्थम अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषण विशिष्टायाम अस्याम शुभतितो. Tangle le नाम याः Tankang Bao नाम अधेयस्य Tanjin Zhang नाम अधेयस्य Shifeng Jia नाम याः Chan Huang Huan नाम याः Wang Yang Jiang नाम याः सकुटुंबस्य च मनसेप्सित सकल सदभीष्टकाम्यार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव महेश्वर पूजाख्य कर्म करिष्ये. हरि ओम तत्सत्. सर्वं भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु. ओम नित्यानंदम.
The primary, fundamental, foundational, first principle of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is Guru-disciple relationship. Everything starts there, everything ends there, but this itself does not end.
Guru Purnima day is such an auspicious day.